Their call sign was ZEUS 95. On March 12th, 2026, they were flying a KC-135 over western Iraq in support of Operation Epic Fury. They were not the strike aircraft, they were the tanker, the aircraft that keeps every other aircraft in flight. And they didn't come home. I want to take a few minutes today to tell you who they were. Not a headline, not a statistic, 6 people, 6 lives, 6 families who are carrying something right now that none of us can even fully understand. I flew in special operations and global reconnaissance for years, and I know that a tanker crew means to the mission. I know what they mean to the mission. I know what it means when that aircraft doesn't come back. So today, this simple message is for them. Major John Alex Klinner, 33 years old, Auburn, Alabama. Alex was the Chief of Standardization and Evaluation, Stanoval, for his squadron, which means he was responsible for the training and flight proficiency of every single crew member in that unit. He was an evaluator pilot, truly the standard setter, who made sure everyone else was ready and prepared to fly. And he had deployed less than a week before the accident. He left behind his wife, Libby, and 3 children, 7-month-old twins and a 2-year-old son. His aunt wrote on social media after the news broke, his name was Major Alex Klinner, and he mattered. And she's absolutely right. Captain Ariana Savino, 31, from Covington, Washington. Ariana had just earned her wings as a KC-135 pilot just last year in 25. She commissioned through ROTC in 2017, spent years as a combat systems officer before she completed pilot training. She worked for those wings, every single one of them. This was her first deployment as a pilot. Her senator from Washington said she represented the absolute best of her state and her country. And she did. Tech Sergeant Ashley Pruitt, 34, from Bardstown, Kentucky. Ashley was a mother. She had 2 children. The people who knew her called her radiant. She had deployed multiple times throughout her career. An Air Medal with Silver Oak Leaf Cluster, multiple commendation medals, a woman who gave more than most people ever will. Captain Seth Koval, 38, from Mooresville, Indiana. Seth had 19 years of service. He first enlisted in 2006 as a machinist with the Indiana National Guard, earned his commission in 2018, and completed instructor pilot upgrade just a few years ago in 2024. He had over 2,000 total flight hours, 443 combat hours. His family said he spent his whole life dreaming of becoming a pilot. They said standing beside him as he made that dream come true was an honor. He loved what he did, and he was proud to put on that uniform and serve every day. Captain Curtis Angst, 30, from Wilmington, Ohio. Curtis had a degree in aerospace engineering from the University of Cincinnati. He enlisted first in the Ohio Air National Guard in 2015, earned his commission in 21, had over 800 flight hours, 67 combat hours, and 10 medals. And he was 30 years old. Everything still ahead of him. Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons, 28, from Columbus, Ohio. Tyler was the boom operator. the crew member who physically extends the refueling boom from the tanker to connect with the receiving aircraft, the person who makes the transfer of fuel possible mid-flight, at altitude, at speed, and oftentimes in the dark. His family remembered him for his $1 million smile. His age, 28 years old. 6 people, 2 units, the 6th Air Refueling Wing out of MacDill in Tampa, 21st Air Refueling Wing from the Ohio Air National Guard out of Rickenbacker. ZEUS 95. That was their call sign on that day. And gone on March 12th. I want to say something about what that KC-135 crew represents. Not just in military aviation, but in every organization that you've been a part of. As a flyer, we had a word for these crews, and they were teammates. That tanker crew often is already airborne before the strike aircraft even launches, already positioned, already committed, so that if you need more time than your fuel allows, it's there. And these are the conditions for success, not the headline, not the foundation the headline is built on. Because, in every organization, every team, every company, every mission, there are people like ZEUS 95, the analyst who builds the picture that makes the decision possible, the ops manager who rebuilds the process at midnight so the team can execute at dawn, the support function that never gets the credit and never stops showing up. Most organizations don't fully understand their value until they're gone. If you're a leader, don't wait for that moment. Look around right now. Find the ZEUS 95 on your team and tell them while you still can that you see them. I want to close by speaking directly to the families of Major Klinner, Captain Savino, Tech Sergeant Pruitt, Captain Koval, Captain Angst, and Tech Sergeant Simmons. There are not enough words. I know that. You know that words don't fill the seat at the table. They don't answer the questions your children will ask. They don't make the weight any lighter whatsoever. But I want you to hear this from someone who has worn the uniform, who has sat in aircraft like the one they flew, who understands in my bones what it means to go out on a mission and not come back. Your loved ones did not die in the background. They were the mission. They kept people in the fight who could not have stayed there without them. Every aircraft that has ever refueled, every crew that kept airborne, every strike that was possible because ZEUS 95 showed up. That is their legacy. That is what they gave. To Libby Klinner and those 3 babies, to Ashley Pruitt's children, to every family member watching from a distance as your world changed forever on March 12th. We see them. We will not forget them. Thank you for raising them, for loving them, for sharing them with all of us. God bless you and rest easy, ZEUS 95.